Now, to say Ed Giacomin was one of the most popular athletes in New York sports history would be an understatement. When he left New York and found his way to Detroit and the youth movement of the Rangers in the mid '70s, it was almost front page news. There's many reports of, seeing Giacomin in tears, taking off his mask for the Rangers and putting it on for Detroit. He was part of that great tandem with Gilles Villemure for a number of years with the Rangers. They won the Vezina Trophy together in '71. And the only thing I can say, the only regret that Giacomin never played with the Leafs or the Habs, because my God, he could have won several cups because he had that style. A little bit of Johnny Bauer, a little bit of Terry Sawchuk, a little bit of Dryden, a little bit of Vachon. He had a little bit of everybody. Now, he's a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1987. A good Sudbury, Ontario boy, 5'11", 180. Now, he played for, like I said, the Rangers for the majority of his career, but was eventually let go to the Red Wings at the tail end of his career. And he also was a powerhouse for the Providence Reds of the AHL. Now, Giacomin came to major prominence in the late 1950s for the Comac Comets and the Sudbury Bell Telephone of the NBHL. He eventually graduated to the Washington Presidents of the AHL in '59, winning 4 starts in 4 games with a 3.25 average. 1960, he split time with the Clinton Comets and the New York Rovers of the EHL, 40 games with a 3.65 average. Now, Montreal Royals in 1960, he played as well, and also skated with the Province's Reds for 1 game. So, not too often goalies play with 4 teams in 3 different leagues in the same season. Now, we talked about the Providence Reds, and this is where he broke through. Became highly popular with the Providence program. Over 4 seasons, he averaged some good totals, 40 to 69 games a season. Over 5 campaigns, 43, 40, 39, 69, 59 games, and victories 17, 20, 22, 30, and 19, and some stellar goals against average, especially his last 3 years with Providence, 2.62, 3.37, and 3.84. Now, all this dedication finally paid off in '66 when he was called up to the Rangers, played 35 games with an 8, 20, and 6 record. And by '67, he found his final place with the Rangers. He led the team with 30 wins in '67. Now, numerous teams were interested in Giacomin, including the Red Wings and Rangers. Now, New York eventually traded 3 players and starting goalie Marcel Pal to the Reds, because back then NHL could trade to AHL, for Giacomin in '65. He was impressive in his first month with the Rangers, but eventually faltered and lost the starting job. Again, the following season he improved. He led the NHL in shutouts and backstopped the Rangers to their second playoff berth in 9 seasons. So with the rebuilding of the Rangers in the late '60s, along with Rattel and Gilbert and Park and Hatfield, it made the New York Rangers one of the best and most recognized teams in New York City because of it. Now, he was a classic stand-up goalie, and he was also known for his stick handling, because he would often leave the crease to play the puck. His rushes outside the net are well documented, and Albert, the announcer for the Rangers, would always say, "Giacomin out of the net again, the third defenseman trying to advance the puck." Now, he was the Rangers starting goaltender for the next 9 seasons. He led the league in games played for 4 straight years, from '67 to '70, and in shutouts in '67, '68, and '71. Now, like I said, '71 he shared the Vezina Trophy with teammate Gilles Villemure. Now, typical of his competitive nature, in a game in the '71 playoffs against Chicago, when Bobby Hull skated over the back of his hand, Giacomin continued to play, and when the Rangers won the game, even the Blackhawks used the word guts to describe his determinations. Now, the Rangers did meet the Bruins in the Stanley Cup Finals in '72, and he lost in a hard-fought 6-game series. It also knocked off Montreal 2 years later in the playoffs, before again losing to the Flyers in the quarterfinals, the eventual Stanley Cup champions. Now, Giacomin's effectiveness was eventually reduced in 75 by injuries. The following season, the Rangers got off to their worst start in 10 years and would eventually miss the playoffs for the first time in a decade and began to get rid of their high-salaried veterans, which included Giacomin. Many fans were angry when he was put on waivers and claimed by the Red Wings on October 29, 75, as a result of a youth movement that resulted in the great John Davidson taking over in goal. The Red Wings' next game was in New York on November 2nd, and when Giacomin appeared on the ice in a Red Wings jersey, fans gave him a long-standing ovation and cheered for him throughout the game. Rangers fans eventually booed their own team when he took shots or scored on Giacomin and chanted Giacomin's name throughout the match, which he won for the Red Wings. The evening was voted one of the 50 greatest moments in MSG history, which is detailed in the book of the same name, which is, I think, out of print now, but is available on eBay or Amazon. Now, he played 3 respectable seasons for Detroit before a youth movement took over. He retired on January 7th, 1978, with a career record of .289, .208, 97, and a .282 goals against average. Now, Giacomin gave back to the Rangers after retirement when he spent the 79 season as a broadcaster for the Islanders, who were beaten in the playoffs by their rival Rangers that spring. Giacomin later served with the Islanders and the Red Wings as assistant coach, and 2 stints with the Rangers as a goalie coach. Now, his induction in the Hockey Hall of Fame in '87 was well deserved. His jersey number 1 was the second number retired by the Rangers on March 15, '89, joining Roger Robert's number 7 that was retired by the Rangers on October 14th, 1979. Now, achievements in facts: NHL First All-Star Team 67-71, NHL Second All-Star Team 68, 69, and 70, NHL All-Star Game appearances 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 73, Vezina Trophy 71, 25th overall in career wins by goalie with 289, 19th overall in career shutouts with 54. Again, his number 1 was the second jersey number retired by the Rangers, and in the 2009 book 108 Rangers Greats, which we've been quoting from in many podcasts here, he was ranked number 6 all time of the 901 Rangers that played for the squad, and the second highest of the 74 who were goalies. Again, his statistics were kind of not say deceiving, but I'll tell you what I mean. He played the AHL for 258 games, 112, 133, and 10 with a 3.55 average. 609 games in the NHL with a 2.82 average. Now, overall, playing 1,000 games in junior and the pro leagues is something that may never be met again. I don't see any modern goalie playing 1,000 games combined in the minors and the pros, because nowadays with you rarely see players going 5 or 6 straight seasons with 70 games or the full schedule. So it's going to be more of a rarity for somebody like Giacomin to play the modern era, to play 1,000 games. By the way, Detroit numbers, just as a recap here, just to show the consistency over the 3 seasons: 29, 33, and 9 games, 3.45 average, 3.58, 3.14 average, 12 and 14 and 3, 18, 8, 18 and 3, and 3, 5 and 1, with a very, very rough Detroit team where we're still trying to refine their wings. But for me and a lot of people, the best season that he had was 69, where he played the whole campaign, 37, 23, and 7, with 7 shutouts, with a 2.55 average. And like I said, there were Stanley Cup contenders every year, pretty well from the late 60s to the mid-1970s. And boys, when he was rocking the Madison Square Garden, the fans loved him, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very, solid in the minds and hearts of New York Ranger and New York sports fans. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Give us a like, comment, or subscribe. Give us an update of what you think or any requests. Again, this request is part of a Gilles Villemure suggestion by Travis Cook, but I want to tell Travis you can't do Jill without doing Ed. Ed and Jill, they were the Mutt and Jeff of the Rangers at the time, or Itchy and Scratchy, as we like to say. You can't say one without the other. And boys, it was my pleasure to do these podcasts because, a lot of Ranger fans on my feed, and you guys have our respect.